Many people are working well beyond retirement age these days. Sometimes it's because of a necessity to work, you need the money. Other times you're just a little bit bored with retirement and you want to get out into the world and do something constructive and passionate with your passions, and also perhaps make a little extra money to do those special trips or do the things that you've been wanting to do as you get a little older. So we're going to talk today about 4 different ways that you can think about working after retirement, some really good tips, and hope that you'll find them useful as you enjoy this amazing time of your life. My name is Margaret Manning. I'm with 60andMe, and I'm really happy that you're here today with us. Thank you so much for your support. I've just, in fact, got up and started reading. One of my morning rituals is to take one of the cards from our deck of inspirational cards and read just one to motivate me for the day. And this one was love your passion or live your passion. And I think so much in retirement, we want to not only work for money and for a little bit of extra, things we can do in retirement, but we also want to do something that is true to ourselves. It's our passion. It's the thing that we really have been putting maybe aside over the years because we've been busy or looking after other things. But this is important. So I want to talk to you about living your passion and about doing things in retirement that, are work related, but still good and energizing for you. So this article is by Anthony Cirillo. He's one of our bloggers, and I really love his approach to it because it's super practical, but it reminds us of the resources that we have at our fingertips as we get a little older and into the retirement age group. So the first thing is to evaluate your situation. You may say, no, I've worked all these years, I'm not going to go back to work, but you have to be actually really honest with yourself in retirement. If you're 60 years old or just after, think about that you're going to be around for 30 more years, hopefully more. And, when retirement policies and pensions were put together, Social Security, people were not living that long. So now you have to look at your situation and think, okay, I'm all right now in my 60s, but how about when I'm 80? What will be the income, the passive income that I'm receiving from pensions or Social Security? Is that going to be enough? You may not feel as much like working in your 80s that you do now. And you want to have a great quality of life. So evaluate. Live within your means. And the advice from a lot of financial advisors is live within your means, like always, but especially as you're approaching retirement. Can do a practice retirement. What are you actually going to have to live on? And it's amazing figures. Like half the boomers in the United States have less than $10,000 saved for retirement in savings. That is such a small amount when you think about the expenses that you'll have over the next 30 years. So it's a reality. So this is why working in retirement or after retirement is so important to consider. When you're thinking about Social Security, of course, the conversations about waiting as long as you can, because you can obviously have more of an income from it if you wait till you're 70. But if you need to bring it out earlier, it's a decision you have to make. But anyway, the first thing is to evaluate. Know where you are honestly. Look at your budget, your living situation. How are you going to deal with maybe a long-term care if you need that in the future? Think about these things practically, realistically. You've got to be honest. The second thing is to then choose your path. If you are going to go back to work or change your work situation, here's some suggestions, and I've got 3 here. And I think the one at the end is actually probably the most important. But we'll do this together because this is one we have to do together. This is something you can do for you. First of all, the 2 big options, right, are being self-employed or working for someone else. Now, if you're self-employed, you may want to stay in the field that you have your expertise. Consider consulting in an area that you studied for. You've got the qualifications. And a lot of businesses now are looking for people who can work remotely, who have skills and ability in a specific line of work. And you may be surprised at the opportunities that might be there for you now that weren't 10 years ago. Technology has given us this ability to be connected and to share what's here in your brain about a particular topic or subject. So it may be good to start a business on the side. And there's a group, it's called SCORE.org, SCORE.org, that Anthony recommends, which is kind of business mentoring and education if you're thinking of starting your own business. I checked out the website. It actually looks very good. You can consider starting a blog or a podcast. You've got knowledge. You've got something to share. And that's the most important thing to think about, to have confidence to do that. You can also take courses on entrepreneurship. But starting your own business is definitely going to give you a lot more freedom than taking on another job. But that is the second option. Take a job. What about finding a job then at a smaller organization? You don't want to be in the rat race of the corporate world. Start maybe at a not-for-profit or a small company that could use your amazing expertise. And they respect your experience. They don't think you're too overqualified or come up with objections because they have another 50 people looking and applying for that job. Maybe look for something that's a bit smaller so that you can be a bigger fish in a smaller pond, and also but where you've got a chance to be more respected and recognized for what you can do. They want someone that can just dive in and help them be successful. So, use your networks. I think it's like half the jobs that people get come through their network. LinkedIn, I can't tell you how much I've appreciated LinkedIn the last few months. I've just got back engaged in it because I wanted to see, who was out there that we could connect with. And it was amazing how many responded and were interested in what we were doing. And so LinkedIn for sure. And also there's groups, like the Rotary Club and Rotary Group that are other professional groups that are for your area of expertise. So there's all kinds of possibilities, all kinds of options, but don't minimize the power of those networking groups. Stay connected. This is the thing. And technology, as I mentioned earlier, is here to help us. It's going to help us. The final thing. This is the one, well, it's final in the sense that it's one we can do together, but there's lots more we could talk about. This one is about ageism, and it's prevalent everywhere, and it's something that we've got to all, it's a fact of life. It's not going to go away just by waving a imaginary wand. We have to make it work in our favor. Now, this is the thing about ageism, is that it's emotional. And you often get young people who feel threatened by an older boomer, older adult who's got skills that they're just learning. They don't see it as an opportunity to gain wisdom. They see it as a bit of a threat. So you've got to kind of approach ageism on different levels. But we can do this together by getting out there and proving that we can do things. We're traveling. We can keep up with technology. There's all these things that it doesn't even then become a question of age. I think that that's a job that we have all to do after retirement, is to show that ageism is not a relevant factor when you're thinking about work. That's what this discussion is about. Challenge the stereotypes and be ready to maybe accept a lower salary. Be prepared to go back to work with maybe the same level of intelligence and expertise, but just go in a little bit lower. Reinforce that older workers will stay longer. And they'll be more committed. We're not going to be going off to, try new things or to travel or want to do a gap year somewhere or even, I suppose, have children. We've done those things in our lives perhaps, and we're now ready to commit 100%. And I think enthusiasm, honestly, is half the battle. I remember when I applied for my very last job, and it was, I was one of the oldest candidates in my late 50s. It was, the person said, "You were so enthusiastic, like you really wanted it." And I was like, "Yes, of course, I really want it. This is why I'm here." And that you're not overqualified. That's one of the biggest arguments. People say, "Well, you've got all these, 30 years of experience, but I'm afraid this is a, entry-level job, and it's a little bit, you're overqualified." Just say, "Hey, I don't mind starting again. I'm okay. I'm okay with that. I'll just do, because I know the job. I know what you need." Be an asset to them. That's really, really important, I think. And I think that the more you can combat ageism at a higher level in society, it'll help us with things like jobs and travel and all kinds of other things that where ageism can apply. Relationships, that's another one. So I think it's important. There's resources that Anthony puts in his article, workforce50.com, retiredbrains.com, which I really like that one, seniors for hire, retiree workforce. Now be sure to check these all out, because over time things change. You might find new and exciting ones. These are just a few he has thought of. So just be optimistic and positive about finding the perfect opportunity for you. The other thing I want to mention is being downsized. That can really knock you to one side. You've got to have that confidence to pick yourself up and go back. So have you been downsized? Are you finding yourself not in retirement looking for a new job? I know a lot of people will say yes, and I'm having a really hard time. Well, I hope some of these suggestions have helped you. And, just keep talking to each other in the comments below, or visit our website, 60andme.com. Just join the conversation. We have a Facebook page that has over 130,000 people now and lots of engagement. We also have some private conversation groups, patreon.com, and you can check out our 60andme.com/start. That's where you can get all the information on what we do. So thanks again for being here. Have a wonderful day, everybody. And I look forward to talking with you all again very, very soon. Bye-bye for now.